Welcome, beautiful soul. Susanna here from the Tapping Association, and today we're going to be doing a really lovely healing session on the mother wound. Now, I just want to take a moment to really acknowledge the deep nature of this work that we're about to do today. And if you probably know a little bit about the mother wound, but basically it's an emotional or psychological wound that might come from a variety of different experiences. So that might be neglect or criticism or just emotional unavailability, or even just us feeling like we weren't nurtured enough, either as a child or now. So this mother wound can show up in lots of different ways in our lives. It might affect how you see yourself, whether you feel worthy of love, how you relate to other people. So we're just going to take it really gently. I know it can feel really activating. So if at any time you feel really overwhelmed or activated, just know that that's okay. If you can keep tapping, do that. But if it does feel too much, then please do just take a break and come back when you're feeling emotionally more buoyant or more stronger, okay? And obviously be aware that with tapping, it can bring a lot of stuff up to the surface that you might have kind of buried or pushed aside for a long time. So if anything does feel a bit intense or any new memories arise, then please do feel free to get extra support, whether that's from a therapy or a really good friend that you trust. And just to remind you as well that by tapping with me, you agree to take full responsibility for your own health and well-being. All that being said, it's a really gentle session. We're going to take it nice and slowly, okay? I'll look after you, I promise. So let's take a nice deep grounding breath together to begin with. So inhaling through the nose if you can, all the way down, and then exhaling through the mouth, just coming into this space. And then tapping on the side of the hand, repeating after me either in your mind or out loud. And please do change any words that you don't feel that quite resonate with you, because it's important that you feel that this, resonates with you. So even though I carry the pain of my mother's actions or words or absence, and I have this deep sense of sadness and unworthiness, I acknowledge that this has affected me deeply. Even though I feel like I'm not enough, that I can't do things right, and I have this inner belief that I'm broken or that I'll never be good enough to receive love or approval. I'm learning to accept myself. I'm doing the best I can. Even though I feel so much emotional pain or resentment or grief from my relationship with my mother. And I have this fear that I will never heal from these wounds, and I'm still carrying the weight of them in my heart. I choose to deeply and completely love, honour and accept myself. Or I'm learning to. Well done. So just tapping gently on the eyebrow point, again repeating what I say in your mind or out loud. What we're going to be doing for these first few rounds is just expressing the truth of how we're feeling. Remember, we're not tapping in the negative. I know it can feel like that sometimes, but we're just really verbalising our truth, honouring all of those emotions so that we can just move forward, move through them all and then release them. I feel like I'll never be enough. I feel like I'll never be enough. Side of the eye, there's part of me that feels abandoned and rejected. I know it's hard. Remember to breathe. Keep tapping. Under the eye, this sadness feels really heavy in my heart. I feel upset bringing this up. It's hard. So just be kind to yourself as we're tapping. Keep tapping, keep breathing. You're doing really well. Under the nose, I can still feel the pain from words that were said. And I know that words can just feel so cutting and hurtful. chin points. It hurts to think that I might never get what I needed. Collarbone. I carry this belief that I'm not worthy of love or care. Under the arm. And sometimes I'm not even sure that I can let go of this. Like this hurt. Feels like it's part of me now. Top of the head. I've carried this pain for so long. I'm not sure how I can heal it. Or if I can. Eyebrow point. I've spent so much of my life feeling invisible or unheard or unwanted. So just allow what's coming up here to come up. You're doing really well. I know it's hard to go through all this. Keep breathing, keep tapping. Side of the eye. There's so much inadequacy kind of ingrained in me. And maybe you're really feeling that not enoughness here. Just remember you're really brave for showing up today to do this work. Under the eye. I sometimes feel like I can't even trust myself, let alone anyone else. But what we're doing is we're cultivating that self-trust through this tapping. You know, something brought you here today. You trusted your instinct to search, to find something, to find some kind of comfort or healing. So just appreciate that trust and that intuition. Under the nose. Maybe there's some fear around, if I let go of this, then I'll forget my past completely. Sometimes it's hard to let go as well. Chin point. The belief that I'm not enough runs really deep in my veins. Collarbone point. And it's hard to imagine a scenario where I feel completely worthy of love and care. Under the arm, my body carries this tension and this heaviness, as if I'm still waiting to be seen, to be loved. Top of the head. I want to heal and move through this, but the wound feels so big. I don't even know where to start. So let's do one more round, just honouring those emotions. I'm going to give you some space as well at the end to express anything else that you want to express, okay? So eyebrow, I feel like I've been rejected over and over again. Side of the eye, this pain of never really feeling truly loved really hurts. Under the eye, I'm scared I'll never be able to heal this broken part of me. And when we have this wound, we do feel broken. Under the nose, this feeling of not feeling good enough. It's really hard to shake off that feeling. Chin points, and I carry the weight of rejection every day. Collarbone point, I feel like I'm always falling short somehow and that I'm never enough. So before we carry on, I'd like you to just express anything else here at the collarbone point. So I feel so, maybe you feel angry or upset or cheated. I feel so. Have a little rant here if you want to. Just express whatever you want to express. This is a safe space for you to do that. Keep tapping, keep breathing. Say what you want to say. Under the arm. And I almost feel this sense of grief about what I never had. Top of the head. I don't know how to move past this, and it's exhausting. Now, before we move on, what we're going to do is just take a moment here to just tune into the physical body, because emotional pain or trauma can often get stored in our body. So if you feel safe and comfortable to do so, what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes, but if not, just soften your gaze. And what we're going to do is just tap on the collarbone point. Okay, if you'd prefer not to tap, that's fine too. You can put your hands on your lap, you can tap on the side of your hand. Whatever feels comfortable to you is just perfect. So what you're going to be doing is just listening to my words and just remember to breathe, keep tapping, eyes closed if you can. So if you are feeling any kind of tightness or discomfort in your body, I want you to just first of all notice where that is. So almost like scanning through the body. Maybe it's really obvious straight away where you're feeling this mother wound. Maybe it's take a little time just to find those areas that might feel a bit hot or spiky or tense or heavy. And it might sound a bit weird to say it, but even those parts of your body that feel sad or upset or heartbroken. So you might feel this in your chest or your heart. That's where the weight of those unmet needs or that lack of nurturing can feel quite heavy. Or maybe in your stomach, we often feel fear or anxiety in our tummies. Keep tapping, keep breathing. Maybe it's in your shoulders, that kind of metaphorical weight of everything, of carrying more than you should have done. Or maybe your throat's feeling a bit tight, as though you couldn't express yourself or you couldn't speak out or speak up. And you might even notice some tension in your lower back, that kind of stability, as if that support that you really needed was missing somehow. You know, and just you can feel this in the smallest and most unlikely places. And just to share something here, for me, I always felt tension in my feet and my toes, like those tiny muscles. They would feel really tight and uncomfortable. And I think it's because when I was little, I used to sit in bed with my mum when my dad was out at the pub in the evening. She used to invite me in sometimes. And I'm a fidgeter, so I'd always wiggle my feet or my toes, always moving and, fidgeting. And she'd get so excessively cross with me about it. So I would just sort of try and freeze and try not to move my body at all so I wouldn't upset her. And I know this might seem like a really small thing, but I just want to remind you that sometimes our pain doesn't show up in big ways. Like it can be those little moments where you just felt like you had to be invisible. So you can remember tapping on that collarbone, eyes closed, just finding those moments, noticing where you're holding that tension. Remember, there's no judgment here. We're just observing that feeling. There's no need to go into a particular memory. Just try and stay in the body if you can, finding that area. And maybe you could imagine sending love to that part of you, and just think about how might you do that. So you might want to imagine sending a lovely purple cleansing light to that part of you. You might want to send a little cascade of love heart emojis to that part of you. Just sending love. Or maybe it's just like pure loving energy, like a feeling. However you envisage this or feel this is perfect. Just sending love to that part of yourself. Try and stay out of the head and in the body. Sending love to that part of you. Knowing that each breath and each tap is helping you to release what no longer serves you. All these little small acts of love is really healing. Keep sending that love, the love heart emojis, the light, the energy. Remember, no need for memories or thoughts. We're just sending love to that part of ourselves, the area of our body that needs it the most. And as you start to receive that love, that area just begins to soften, to accept the love, to open. Well done. So when you're ready, just open your eyes. And let's start shifting a little bit more. So we're going to go back to normal rounds now. So tapping on the eyebrow point. Feels like I'm always going to carry this pain. Side of the eye. But maybe I don't have to carry it forever. Under the eye. I'm scared I'm always going to feel inadequate or not enough. Under the nose. But maybe I could start to see my own value. Chin point. I'm always going to feel invisible. Collarbone point. But maybe I could begin to acknowledge the person I've always been, who I really am. Recognising that person. Under the arm. I'll never fully heal from this wound. Top of the head, but maybe healing is possible even if it takes time. Eyebrow point. What if I could start to give myself the love and validation that I've always wanted? Side of the eye. Maybe at some point I came to believe that I wasn't enough, but I choose to let go of that belief now. I choose to let go of the belief that I'm not enough now. So just let it go. You can take a breath here if you want to. It's not true because you're always enough. You always have been enough. You always will be enough. So just let it go. Under the eye. And I know that in the past I found the strength to keep going despite everything. I know this is a tough one because sometimes we don't feel strong. And it's okay to not always feel strong. Some days we just need to wrap ourselves up and have a little cry, and that's okay. Under the nose, I can see how I've survived, and I acknowledge that resilience within me. You know, you've been through so much. It's okay to really acknowledge that resilience. It's always been there, even if you don't always recognise it. And like that strength thing, you don't need to feel resilient all the time. But you've shown up today, and that's something to really honour and hold on to. Well done. Chin point. What if I could begin to let go of the need to prove myself? You don't need to prove yourself to anybody. Collarbone point. Maybe I could just start to trust I'm worthy of love just as I am. Under the arm. I recognise how far I've come, and maybe that is a step towards healing. You've come such a long way, all the work you've done already. I'm sure there's been a lot. You've come a long way. Top of the head. Maybe I can start to really honour my own needs and trust myself more deeply. And you do that by showing up for yourself and doing the work. Eyebrow point. What if I could allow myself to release this fear of rejection? And sometimes, you know, people struggle to offer that love to themselves because they feel hurt. But I just want to remind you, it wasn't and isn't your fault. Your mother's wounds are hers to heal, just as your wounds are yours to heal. You don't need to forgive or take any actions that you don't want to. I just want you to appreciate that you're here now, okay? This is your work. Side of the eye. Maybe I can begin to feel safe with the idea that I am worthy of love. It is safe for you to really offer yourself that love and care. That self-compassion. Under the eye. In the past, I know I've been able to care for myself in moments when perhaps other people couldn't. And you can bring that to mind now. You know, that care for yourself might have been really practical, might have looked different than what you expected. Maybe you found ways to somehow show up for yourself. Maybe you learned to count on your own strength. Maybe you took on responsibilities, made your own meals, or kept your home in order, kept things tidy. Even if you didn't feel like doing it, you kind of had to do it, but you did it. You've been caring for yourself in the best way that you knew how to. And maybe sometimes that care extended to other people too. Just recognise that care. Under the nose, I can see how I've supported myself through difficult times. Chin point. What if I could give myself the love that perhaps I've craved from others? Collarbone point. Maybe I could trust that my worth isn't tied up to someone else's approval. I know this is a tough one and I understand it. I know how it feels when someone puts you down a lot or rejects you, and you feel like their approval is like the only way you can feel valued and loved. And when that happens, it can make us feel like our own worth really depends on someone else seeing us or appreciating us or giving us love in some way. But what if your worth isn't tied to someone else's approval? Let's think about that for a moment. What if your worth is inherent simply because you are? What if you don't need to earn your worth from other people? What if you always had it? And it's safe to start trusting in that. So let's just say that affirmation one more time. Maybe I could trust that my worth isn't tied up to someone else's approval. Well done, under the arm. I can honour the parts of me that are healing and growing stronger every day. And you're doing amazingly well. You should be really proud of yourself. Top of the head. Maybe I can start to see myself as whole, loved and worthy. Okay, so let's start letting some of this go now. So eyebrow point. So I want you to really breathe here, tap softly, let it go. I give myself permission to release this emotional burden. Let it go. Side of the eye, it's safe for me to let go of the beliefs that I'm unworthy. Tapping, letting go, releasing it. Under the eye, I'm willing to release the pain of feeling abandoned and rejected. So let's take a breath here now, in through the nose, all the way down, cleansing, clearing, making space. And as you exhale, let go of the old stuff, the old shadows, the dirt, the mess, the dust. Just let it go. Let some of that pain go. Well done. Under the nose, I give myself permission to forgive myself for carrying these old beliefs with me. And sometimes when we have these beliefs, they're beliefs that we needed to protect ourselves or make sense of the world that we live in. But you don't need to hold on to those beliefs anymore. It's okay to let them go. You didn't know any different at the time, but you're allowed to release now what no longer serves you. Keep breathing, keep tapping, keep letting go. We're letting go with our bodies, with our minds. And just remember that you're forgiving yourself here. Whether you choose to forgive anyone else is your choice. I would never ask you to do that because I know how hard it is, and we're all at different stages of our healing journey. So just forgive yourself for perhaps holding on to those beliefs that somehow kept you safe, okay? Chin points. I'm willing to stop carrying the weight of the past, the weight of the mother wound. Collarbone, it's safe for me to heal, and I give myself full permission to heal with my mind, my body, my spirit, my DNA. Under the arm, I wonder if I can feel lighter as I start to let go of this heaviness. Top of the head, I'm ready now to release the past and I open myself to healing. Well done. So let's do some nice, gentle, compassionate affirmations to finish. Eyebrow, I'm worthy of love just as I am. I really want you to say this in a really loving, caring way. Side of the eye, I'm enough even without anyone's approval. Under the eye, I'm learning to trust myself more and more each day. Under the nose, I give myself permission to feel loved, supported and seen. And I really see you now. Chin point, I honour my resilience and I'm proud of how far I've come. Collarbone, I choose to release all old beliefs and honour my true worth. Under the arm, I'm learning to love myself in the way I needed. Top of the head, I'm worthy of nurturing, and every day, in every way, I'm learning to nurture myself in kind and loving ways. Well done. So take a nice deep breath in here. Hands on hearts, eyes closed. Just let go. And just take a moment here to notice how you feel. Maybe you feel that there has been a shift. Maybe you feel lighter or calmer. Maybe you feel that there is more work to be done, and that's okay. Healing is a journey. And open your eyes when you're ready. If this has helped you today, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments or just leave me a little heart. Thank you so much for tapping with me. Remember to keep on loving yourself today and every day. Take care of yourself. Bye.